No? All right. Do you want to hit the gavel?
Sorry.
We don't need. What? No, I know, but would you like to? Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Newport Beach Public Facilities Corporation meeting of August 25th, 2020. May we have the roll call, please?
The record will reflect that Councilmember Duffield has an excused absence, and Director Duffield and Director Herdman is on his way, I believe.
Okay. Do we have public comments? Please come forward. Oh, here comes Mr. Mosher in the community room.
Dixon, yes, Chair Dixon, I was, we have some kind of feedback here. I was just wondering if this is the only opportunity for public comments, because my comment would be about item number 3, and it probably would be more appropriate after you've heard the
I think this is the only public
staff
comment
report on
period.
that. Thank you.
This is the only public comment period if you'd like to speak. No? Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, election of officers.
Now's the time for election of officers. Is there a motion to elect the mayor as the chairperson and the mayor pro tem as the vice chair, and then the remainder of council members to serve as the corporation board of directors?
I move.
Moved by Director, or I guess at this moment, Chairperson Dixon. Is there a second?
I'll second.
So moved by Vice Chair O'Neill. You can do by a show of hands. All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's 5-0.
All right. We'll move into the approval of the minutes. The minutes are in your packet. To Mr. Mosher's question, Mr. Mosher, since you're the only person here to speak on it, I'll open public comment on item number 3 when we get there. On item number 1, I'll move waiver of the reading of the minutes and approve as written and order filed. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Dixon. Any discussion? All right, we'll do a show of hands. All in favor, raise your hand.
That was 5-0.
All right, we'll move into current business item number 2, the review of the annual financial statements. Mr. Matuszewicz, do you have anything that you'd like to say?
So you have a detailed staff report in front of you. Just happy to answer any questions about. There's really nothing unusual. You may notice that that we drew down some principal, but that is essentially excess assets held with the trustee. So on the income statement, you may see that it looks like we had a net loss for the year, but those were just drawing down assets with the trustee from excess interest earnings.
So that's on page 2-6 where it shows a negative of 449. You're saying that's
450,000.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions up here? All right. Just a moment. All right, this is a receive and file, so we'll move to item number 3, which is the resolution. This is also a fairly detailed staff report. I will just say real quick, just to clarify, what this means is that we are releasing all properties except the Central Library and the Civic Center from our COP security. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? It's okay. Any other questions or discussion before I go to public comment on this? Okay. All right, Mr. Mosher, we'll go to public comment on this item.
Thank you, Chair O'Neill, members of the board. My name is Jim Mosher. Just before your meeting, Dan graciously answered most of the questions I had. One of them was why the release of the assets was happening now and not in 2013 when the Civic Center was completed. I'm surprised he didn't explain that to you. The main thing I want to comment on is your responsibility as members of the corporation board, if you read the documents you're going to sign, is to verify that 3 things happened in connection with the lease purchase agreement. And if you did not know what those 3 things are, and I understand from Dan they have all been verified, Number one is that 95% of the funds that were collected from the bonds and went into the project fund were applied towards the construction of either the Civic Center or the library. Number two, that the city has provided you, the corporation, with the opinion from a special counsel that your action today won't have any tax obligations or ramifications that would jeopardize the status of the Build America bonds, the 210B certificates. And the third is that the city has promised to provide notice in its continuing disclosure agreement. I am gratified to hear those have all been done, and I hope you are too. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, we've got one caller.
I'm somewhere else. I'll let you go.
Hi, go ahead.
Hi, is this public comment at Newport Beach, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, I've been trying to get in touch with the city clerk and the city manager today in order to tell you and warn you about a problem you have with tonight's proceeding. You are actually discriminating against the public. We have rights, and you have to do this by changing the configuration of how you do public comment. The rights were upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2011, Duryea versus Garnier. We have rights to redress our grievances to our government face-to-face. That is the right. Now, when you actually require us to only do it by telephone, that is not sufficient, but there is good technological solutions that are practiced by many other cities, and in fact by you today, which would actually make this okay. So what you have to do is be more transparent than you have been on the agenda. You've hidden two things that are illegal. Number one, you said not on the agenda that people could come down to the community room. That's not on your agenda. You just said something about some accommodation and call somebody. You didn't announce that people could come to the community room in order to make comments face-to-face. That's a problem. Number two, you need to make a change to your Zoom configuration immediately and open up the Zoom proceeding to all the public. And then when it's time for them to speak, let them enable their camera and use the screen if necessary so they have the same rights as all other participants in the meeting. You see, the public are just as important as those that participate in the proceedings. Yes, that's true. We have rights to redress our grievances to our government face-to-face. You do not have the ability to steal those rights, and when you're doing it this evening, it is illegal, and it will be used to set aside any decisions, including the quasi-judicial proceeding that is scheduled for later tonight. My strong suggestion is that somebody from the city manager's office or the city clerk's office give me a call right away. I'm a Zoom expert. I do this all over the country. I'm just trying to do you a favor here and actually have your proceedings stand up today. That's the goal. The phone number is with the city manager's office right now. It's a very simple and easy follow-up. I suggest you give me a call. This is Paul G., and we'll hope to hear from you soon.
Any other speakers? All right. So we'll close that. Any discussion up here?
No.
All right, I'll move staff recommendation on the adoption of resolution number PFC 2020-1. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Avery. Any discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Motion carries 5-0.
All right, we stand adjourned until 4 o'clock. Thank you.